It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
Good morning. The birds are singing. It's a beautiful day, and we have our first road trip as a family of 3. How many things did we bring? Great question. I'd love to show you. In the front here, we have this new mat that Felix made, the stroller, my bag, the diaper bag. Now, there's a little baby head, so look out. Here we have, this is the baby and Dad. This is my stuff. This is the pack and play. This is everything else. So it's like my makeup and the camera and bibs and baby forks and so many diapers. Yeah, hi baby. And here we have Daddy in the back seat entertaining the baby. And then at your feet, what, you have a cooler?
Yeah, a cooler and then a bag with honestly mostly books in it. A busy book and then a snack bag for the whole family.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, we fit it all in. Let's get this show on the road.
Hatchback.
Hatchback. Yaris life.
He plucks a few blackberries from the bushes around us. And may the odds! He tosses a berry in a high arc toward me. I catch it in my mouth and break the delicate skin with my teeth.
All right. We arrived. We've ordered some DoorDash. Felix got this vegan restaurant. We will give you a full review. I just got regular Taco Bell. You know, I like to stick with what I know. I'll give you a little tour. It's exactly like every other hotel room you've ever been in. First, we have bathroom. We've already done one baby bath, so there's a lot of stuff everywhere already. Across from the mirror, we have a little closet. Here's where we've put Felix and baby stuff. There's a fridge and a microwave and a television. They let us steal this high chair from the Continental Breakfast area.
Very nice.
Very nice of them.
Thank you to the LeCointe.
We have to take it back after we eat dinner. We've put all of our baby stuff on this little desk. And then this is all of my stuff in this little chair here. We have a beautiful view of tree, which it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. I think it's nice. It's like we're staying at Animal Kingdom. 2 beds, one of which my husband and the baby is on, and then this one's mine. Felix and I do this very romantic thing when we're on vacation, where if we can, we get 2 different beds so we can both starfish and not have to share a bed.
It's not romantic between the 2 of us, it's romantic between us individually and our beds.
Yeah, that is so true. But we snuggle every night. And so on vacation, we're like, I'm gonna be by myself. This is our baby pack and play. We got it from my sister. It's incredible, and we just stuck them between the 2 of us. And I think that'll be good. Random grocery store haul. So first of all, we needed bottled water. So we got some bottled water for formula, and then we got a couple baby snacks that I'm not gonna go get. But we got some prunes for the baby. Felix is rehydrating them because that's what you're supposed to do. Felix got wild and berry sherbet?
Oh, I have no idea.
Something like that.
It's like the unhinged Baskin Robbins one.
I couldn't decide between 2 chocolates, so I got a Ghirardelli sea salt caramel one and then Dove. two of my faves. Felix got a little can of soup.
Soup for my family.
Soup for my family. And then we went to the toy aisle.
Crime.
And we got this guy. We walked around. The baby's never been to the toy aisle, and so I didn't think he would like focus on one thing. And he pulled it right off the shelf. It was right eye level. They knew where to put it for if you were holding a baby walking through the toy aisle. It was only $8. But now Daddy has banned us from going to the toy aisle unsupervised. Anyway, yeah, it's bedtime. I am gonna do some hand dishes. We bought our own dish soap. We brought our own dish soap to do some hand dishes. Just because, like, we brought baby silverware and, like, bibs. That way we didn't have to pack a bunch of them and then wash them when we got home. So I have to do that while Daddy does bedtime routine. First, Felix is going to review their vegan dinner. I just got Taco Bell. I tried their nuggets. They're normal nuggets. They're nothing special. And then I got the grilled cheese steak burrito. One of my faves.
The food I got was Wayside Cafe. I got their Almost Famous Bowl, which is a really funny name because it's like a famous bowl but vegan. I forgot that sort of like the main tenets of a famous bowl are like the corn and the cheese. Like those are like the things that people are really excited about in the famous bowl that I'm not as excited about. So what I wanted was just fake chicken and mashed potatoes, which it was a lot of mashed potatoes. It was good. I personally feel like it was kind of an unhinged choice for them to do like just definitely tofu as the like fake chicken on it. That seemed like a really odd choice to me. It was clearly, I don't know. It was good. I did like it. I don't know that I would order that specifically again, but I think if I was craving something like that, that is what I would choose. I am slightly disappointed I didn't get the cauliflower wings because I love cauliflower wings, but it seems silly to just eat a bunch of cauliflower for dinner. And for some reason it seemed less silly to have tofu and mashed potatoes and fake cheese sauce and creamed corn. I'm just not that into corn. So I think if you really like corn and you've really been missing a famous bowl and you happen to be in Olympia, Washington area, definitely get it. It was good. Also, there's like 4 chunks of tofu in it and they looked like really small. And so I was like, this is kind of a racket, but actually it was incredibly filling. That I will say. Very filling. Delicious.
Good morning. It is 8:08 a.m. We're gonna go get some continental breakfast. I like to go in my PJs still, and my socks. I've never been told that you're not allowed to do that. So let me know in the comments. Do you go down to continental breakfast still in your PJs?
Who's getting dressed for continental breakfast?
My parents used to make us get dressed, and I was like, no, I feel like similar to like Christmas morning. The vibe is like we're all at camp together when we're staying at a hotel. You know? Anyway, we're gonna go to continental breakfast. Then we're gonna drive into town a little bit, get some fun coffee from a place that Felix found on the Olympia Reddit.
Okay, Daddy has to pee.
Daddy has to pee, then we'll go get food. Go get food. Go get food. Your daddy has to pee, then we'll go get food. Let's get some food. Okay. Felix, who used to be barista, is typically, and I would say always, in charge of finding local coffee. So they found Fog and Fern. It's much bigger than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh yeah, it's like a sit-down place.
It's a sit-down place. It's really cute. I am excited to see what it looks like inside. On the outside, it's got like, you know, ferns and a bunch of coffee beans. So he really wants to be in the movie.
Yeah, he's trying to be in it.
Okay. They have these cute little things that say, this says, use a commercial car wash, only rain down the storm drain. And then it says Puget Sound starts here. Which I didn't know. They must be talking about washing your car at your house.
Yes.
Is what they don't want you to do.
Yeah, because it uses a lot of water.
And then the baby has one to play with that says remember bag and trash pet waste.
I think only rain down the storm drain. I think that's the company. I don't think it's telling you only rain down the storm drain. I think that's the
No, Stream Team is the company. Also, we can learn more.
Yeah, we'll be checking that out.
We'll be checking that
That's
out.
very cute. This is rose soy cold brew. It's very delicious. ASMR. This is a iced chai with oat milk and caramel. This is some whole milk in a bottle.
This place was so cute. We didn't film that much inside just because, like, there were people there with kids trying to enjoy their coffee and stuff, and they didn't sign up to be on YouTube. But I did take a couple of clips just so you could kind of see the vibe. We also felt very comfortable there as a queer family. Nobody was staring at us or anything. Then we went back to the hotel for first nap of the day, and while that happened, I got a little bit of reading done because my biggest goal for this whole thing was just to relax. Our big plan for today is to go to the Olympia Farmers Market, who is actually our sponsor for this video. Thank you so much, Olympia Farmers Market. This is actually kind of like a dream collab for us because I love any reason to go to like a new town and stay in a hotel and see what the city has to offer. I know that they do these little lunch and learn events, and today they're talking about oysters, and I'm a huge fan of oysters. Felix is a vegetarian, so they will not be partaking, but I'm really excited to try them. They're open Thursday through Sunday. We're going on a Thursday, so I'm not sure how busy it's gonna be, but I'm really excited. Plus, I think we're gonna have lunch there because I know that there's a couple of different food options, and I love to support a small business. So come on, let's go. The lunch and learn was really fun. I will be honest, the people working at the oyster bar lunch and learn were very handsome. And for that reason, I can't remember a single thing that they said. But the oyster was really, really delicious. And I think that's the most important part. This is a big oyster.
Yeah?
Oh my God, it's so hot. Hold on.
Very fresh. Was it good?
Really good. I wish I had butter. I wish I had bread to soak up. Yeah, it was like
juice?
cooked over the fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Snail butter and cheese on top. I don't know if the butter was made by the snail.
Right. They milked a snail to get it.
Or if they milked the snail, or if perhaps it's emulating the butter that a snail might enjoy.
Okay, right.
But it is really good. Yeah, I'm sure the very handsome men explained what snail butter was, but again, they were very handsome, and therefore I wasn't listening.
Dairy-free cardamom ice cream.
Yeah.
This is the best ice cream I've ever had.
From Sophie's Scoops.
Incredible.
Yeah.
My
Really,
compliments to Sophie.
exactly all your favorite things.
Okay, tell the people what you got and your thoughts.
I got the crab melt from Dingy's, I think is how you say it.
Dingies?
Yeah, you think it's Dingy's?
No. You usually say it dingy.
Dingy, but it's owned by Dingy, I think.
Yeah, you said dingies. Like you did a lot of emphasis on the G. It was just cute.
Anyway, so good.
Yeah.
I never had a crab melt before. I've had like a tuna melt, and that was good. So I was like, how different can it be? It's way better. The tuna melt is dead to me. It's really good. I haven't tried the coleslaw yet because I forgot to grab a fork.
Oh, we've got one if you want me to lick it for you.
The fries are also my favorite kind of fries.
Yes.
They're like the really like crispy on the outside kind.
Like the battered ones.
Now, yeah, it took a long time to get because I think I just came in as they were making more fries, and that's why, but it was worth the wait.
That's not a crime.
No, it was so good.
Yeah. I got the vegan plate from Curry in a Hurry. Really good. Really, really good. I don't know any of the names of any of these things. This is not spicy. This is spicy. All of it's really good. It's better together because this is very spicy for me, but delicious. The baby's really into these little thingies that are tasty and they're fun to dip in there. The baby's review of this stuff was like a 0 out of 10 stars, which is also surprising because he's had a lot of like chickpea-based things.
Yeah.
I think the spice has confused him. We'll definitely try something again like it later. I don't think that's like a forever rating from him.
No, the doctor said he's supposed to try things like 10 times, which is so many times.
But anyway, 10 out of 10 from me.
Yeah,
Delicious.
absolutely 10 out of 10. Okay, we had so much fun at the farmer's market. Obviously, it's an ad, but also genuinely, it was amazing. The very first thing that we saw when we walked in was this pride flag, which I felt was honestly just like a good way to start the day and really set the tone.
Slay. Happy Pride Month. Also, they had so many nice little shaded areas. Not to crap on other farmers markets that we've been to, but I do not think of a farmers market as being particularly shady. And this had a lot of places for us and our very pale baby to not get hurt by the sun. We ate our lunch in this cutesy little garden spot that was really great. They had all these beautiful trees. There were also so many kids running around playing. It was just really cute. It had a good feel to it.
Yeah, I feel like in general, not that other farmers markets aren't family friendly, but this one felt particularly family friendly. It was really easy to move our stroller around. We were there on a Thursday, so I'm sure it does get busier, but this was like a really nice balance of being busy enough to be interesting without us personally feeling overcrowded or like pushed out of the way.
There was the outside part that had the live music and the food and a couple of farm stands, and then this covered area that had a bunch of really cool booths. We had the chance to chat with the folks who run the market, and we heard from them that nobody is allowed to like drop ship or sell things that they didn't actually make. Everything is made here and is local.
Something else that we really resonated with this market is that they have a bunch of really cool like local economy, community first programs that they run, one of which being market tokens. So a lot of the booths actually don't take credit cards just because they don't want to pay the credit card fees. And so every vendor, including the restaurants, accept market tokens just like their cash. So if you show up with only your credit card and you want to buy things but you don't necessarily want to use the ATM, you can purchase these market tokens and they will convert your funds into tokens instead of you using your card.
All of the farmers accept WIC and SNAP, and they have this incredibly cool program called Market Match, where they match the SNAP benefit funds up to $25 per day. So if you spend $25 at a farmer booth, they give you another $25 of Market Match dollars, which never expire, and you can use at the market, which is very cool.
We also got to hear about some of the exciting projects that they have coming up, one of which is a project they're working with the Master Gardeners of Olympia on, which we're big fans of our local Master Gardeners, so shout out to them. But they're going to be doing a mobile plant clinic where folks can drop off their houseplants for diagnosis while they're shopping, and there's going to be an edible garden where people can pull their own herbs and produce, which is just a genius idea. I don't know why more people aren't doing it.
On Thursdays, they do their lunch and learn. Maybe if you are a better student than my wife who gets distracted by hot men, you'll learn something while you lunch. They have different nonprofits who table daily, so sometimes they'll be giving away free books or teaching people about different resources or letting them hold a dehydrated seahorse. It's just an incredibly cool community space, and you can really tell that the folks who are organizing it care a lot about Olympia, and you can tell that Olympians really love it. I think that one of the fun things for us was posting about working with the farmers market on our Instagram page, and we got, I cannot tell you how many DMs, I want to say like no less than 10 from different people who had either lived in Olympia and the farmers market was one of their favorite places, or they had previously worked there and were like, everyone who's there is incredible. So that's, I think, like the best endorsement we can give is that if you live in the Pacific Northwest or if you're going to be visiting anytime soon, you just should definitely go. Like people really love it for a very good reason.
All right. It's about 6:30 in the afternoon. So we got home, well,
the afternoon.
We got back to the hotel at like 2:33. We did go to a thrift store. I'll put pictures here. I just got a little Leo mug that was really cute. It was $5. And then we got some Mickey Mouse fabric. I don't know what we're gonna make it into.
It's cute though.
Yeah, it's really cute. Then the baby took a nap. I took a little eye rest. Felix worked on some Bear in the Big Blue House craft projects.
It sounded like you said the babies took a nap.
The babies took a nap. Me and the baby.
And the baby.
The two babies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 6. This is the best part of like staying in a little hotel room, having a little getaway. That's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I love staying in a hotel room and being like, I'm just gonna stay home after 5 p.m. After 3 p.m. really.
Yeah.
But yeah, we DoorDashed some food. Well, Felix has some leftovers. I DoorDashed some Quiznos. We don't have Quiznos in Oregon. I don't know where they have Quiznos anywhere.
We used to have Quiznos.
Yeah, we used to have it in Mobile, but it closed down.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's sort of like the Blockbuster of fast food chains.
Yeah.
But sandwiches.
And I love Quiznos. I love the chicken carbonara. I'm sure I could find a recipe dupe somewhere for the carbonara sauce. It's the best kind. It's so good. And then, yeah, the rest of the night, Felix is crafting.
Yeah.
Baby and I are hanging out. We might swim, but I think we're gonna swim tomorrow night. That's pretty much it. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. We woke up at 8. We hung out, had a little bit of continental breakfast, snuggled in our room. Our AC stopped working, and then the front office person came up and actually fixed it. There was a power outage last night, so I didn't sleep great, but the baby La Quinta Slay. Yeah, super nice front desk, every person we've talked to. But Felix is like, why don't you go get the coffee? I'll stay with the baby. Sounds good to me. I don't mind going on a little errand. Felix is like, oh, they have one of those bikini coffee stands. And
what I said to be clear...
Because they're a pervert.
No. What I said to be clear was it looks like literally the only coffee that is not Dutch Bros that's drive-through, other than Starbucks, which we're not getting.
Right.
Is bikini coffee. And so I was like...
And I said, I don't mind bikini coffee.
And, well, because I wasn't going to go. Morgan's just going to go.
Here's the thing. If you aren't from around here, there are these coffee stands. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's like little coffee stands that are about the size of a king-size bed. So, like, one person can stand in it comfortably. And they are girls dressed in bikinis, and they call them like bikini baristas. We used to have one near our apartment in Oregon, in
ones
Salem.
Have normal names.
This was called Pink Sugar Espresso.
Oh, you went to a... Okay, so there was like blends, and then Pacific Northwest Coffee, or Pacific Northwest Baristas, which are normal names. But if you
there was also one called Foxy Lady, but that one was further. This is the closest one.
Yeah.
I probably could have walked there if I wanted to. Felix is like, the only places that are drive-thrus looks like they're bikini coffee. We never got to go to the one by our apartment, and I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, I love to see a girl in a bikini. I love to tip her $6. Those are my favorite things to do, is to give women money. So...
This is a pro-bikini coffee
This is a very pro-bikini coffee house. I was excited because I love going to Hooters. Sorry, sue me. I don't go and ogle them.
Happy Pride Month.
Loudly, but like it's like when I go to a strip club, and I'm giving the woman money, and I'm like, thank you for providing a service. You know what I mean? We support all types of sex work. I don't know if the bikini baristas would consider themselves in that category.
I think that's mostly coffee work.
It is it's a lot of coffee work.
Wow.
Okay, anyway. But I go, this girl, first of all, obviously she's so beautiful and wonderful. She's not in a bikini, though. She is in lingerie, and also her hole is out. And to be fair, I didn't make eye contact with her hole. I'm, like, going off the periphery. But I do see, she turns around and I see her full behind. I don't think she was wearing a thong, but she's wearing, like, a mesh skirt and essentially a mesh bra.
The baby says this is a story for heathens.
And I was like, this girl, she's working. Also... She was she was so cute. She was so chatty and also so good at her job because I was like, I like a really sweet coffee. That's who I am. My husband, we're gay, but my husband, not as much. Like, I'm just gonna order ingredients for them. And she's like, oh, okay. And we talked for like probably 10 minutes. There was another guy like on the other side in the drive-thru, and she just kept being like, I'll be with you in a minute. And she just like kept talking to me while she's making our coffee.
I don't think people go for a speedy experience.
They do not go for a speedy experience at the bikini barista, I'm sure. But anyway, then like we leave and I'm driving home and my coffee's so good. They had white coffee, which is bonkers. And then it was called the churro. So it's got like sea salt caramel and cinnamon and white coffee and white chocolate. Anyway, it is really sweet. It's really good. And I got Felix just a white coffee soy latte with lavender and white chocolate, which is good.
Really good, yeah.
It's really good. Now... After I tipped her $6, it was a $30 experience. But she was like, oh, yeah, like, what are you guys doing? Where are you from? And I'm like, oh, we're from Salem. We're YouTubers. We're actually here doing an ad for the farmer's market. And she was like, oh, my God, I love the farmer's market. And again, like, as she's turned around, her full, beautiful behind is, like, eye level with me. And I was like, this girl, I hope she makes $1 million.
Yeah.
And she deserves to make $1 million. But she was like, yeah, I'm trying to break it into social media too. I actually monetized my Instagram and my TikTok. And I was like giving her work advice. And I was like, oh yeah, so we used to be monetized on TikTok, but they like tank your views. So like, I don't recommend it. What's better is if you aren't monetized, but you're working and posting enough and then eventually getting like deals with brands because they'll just pay you more money than you would have made monetized. And she was like, oh, but I do live streams. And I was like, oh, like we didn't do a lot of live streams. Maybe you do make more money that way. Anyway, yeah, she was lovely. Coffee's really good. I will be going back there tomorrow before we leave.
This baby needs a nap now.
And the baby needs a nap now.
I know.
We'll see you in a minute. We came back to the farmer's market for lunch today. Super excited. I think we're gonna try the Greek place. I might get the crab melt again. It was so good. And then Felix really, I think, wants more of that ice cream from yesterday. So we're gonna get more of that. And then I think we're gonna head to the Children's Museum. But first, let's go check out more of the market. Okay, today I went with the dingy plate. Delicious.
It's ding-dang good.
It's ding-dang and real good. We got some extra fries today.
From the Greek place, I got some pita and hummus. Really good.
Yeah.
Very good hummus.
Big hit.
Okay. The 1-year-old baby review of the food from the farmer's market. Little chunks of french fry, 10 out of 10. Huge hit. This hummus, the baby, he didn't love it so much. It was a very sad face, and then a kind of excited face, and then sort of a sad face again. So I think we're gonna say maybe like a 6 out of 10 from the baby on that. I know, did you more of the french fries?
He demands french fries.
The Cheerios from home, also a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The cardamom ice cream he was really into. And then that lentil stuff from yesterday, that was unfortunately a 0 out of 10. He was not into that. What I will say is that there's a lot of like fruits here. Mm-hmm. And so I think that if we had not brought other toddler snacks, we always bring our like baby scissors everywhere we go. So I think we could have brought scissors and chopped up a couple of like peaches or something else that were soft, and he would have. There definitely is stuff that if you happen to have a toddler who's transitioning to exclusively solids, I think they do have pretty good options here.
Yeah.
I know, more french fries. Yeah.
The prince demands more french fries.
He says more fries for the boy. Blackberry lemonade ice cream, dairy-free from Sophie Scoops. I'm obsessed with Sophie.
I'm obsessed with Scooby.
I'm obsessed with Sophie. That was delicious. Now I'm sad. This was the day we got to chat with our new friend Jessie, who works at the farmer's market, and we learned that the farmer's market was originally started in the 1970s by self-proclaimed hippies and threats to the state, which I thought was really fun and felt exactly up our alley because of the current political climate, and also just generally, that's a good vibe, you know? Like, I'm obsessed with that.
Something that really warmed my heart the more we talked to Jessie about the history of the market is that it continues to be and has always been a place that has a focus on hyper-local community, keeping money just in their local economy, and making sure that everyone around them and everyone who visits and works at the market knows that, like, the most important thing is that we're all stronger together.
Obviously, when we do an ad, it's because we like the product or the place or, like, whatever thing we're promoting, but we don't always get to work with a group that aligns with our values so closely as these folks do. So I don't know, it was a very cool experience. As some of you know, I am very brand new to using the men's restroom, and I will say this is like one of the cleanest men's restrooms that I have ever been to, although I've not been to many. And also the bar is low, like they are generally very gross. This one was nice. They also had a changing table in the men's restroom. It wasn't scary to be in there. Really all over Olympia, there was a bunch of trans flags and things for Pride Month. As a queer couple, especially now with a little baby to protect and keep safe, you know, I think whenever we're traveling somewhere that we haven't been before, there's always a little bit of anxiety around whether or not that's a place where we're going to feel comfortable and feel safe. But I would say that Olympia was incredible. We will absolutely be going back, and we will absolutely be going to the farmer's market again.
Yes, they have a lot of really cool events coming up, but the one that's the most exciting is on August 9th. They have their 50th anniversary celebration. They're going to have 3 live bands, a historic tour, a ton of guest-provided market memories, a lot of different activities like learning how to dance and rock painting, just a whole bunch of stuff that'll be really fun both for adults and kids. And honestly, we might go back just for it because truly, this was like such an inviting and wonderful space. But if you can't make it to that, no worries. They are literally open all year, even though they have different seasons. And if you want to find out more about it, we're going to link their website in our description, and you can sign up for their newsletter or follow them on Instagram. They are in the 21st century, guys, and you want to know what they're doing, I promise.
Starting on Sunday, July 13th, there is a local elementary school teacher on summer break who's going to be hosting board games at the market every Sunday. On July 25th, there is going to be a farmer whose name is Mitch, who has a bunch of petable goats and is launching a children's book. In the fall, they do a harvest celebration, as sort of like a Halloween-adjacent family event that's really fun. They've got 120 rotating vendors. They've got cool stuff going on all the time. On their website, olympiafarmersmarket.com, you can check which vendors are going to be there and where. And they have an events page. They've got all kinds of events going on year-round. There's always something fun happening. thing. And yeah, you should just definitely check it out. They're great.
Okay, we're headed to the Children's Museum. It's really the Mommy and Daddy Museum because we're really excited.
The baby's gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, he's probably gonna fall asleep. We got back from Olympia yesterday. We just took some clips of like the last day just because it was just us going to a few places and then driving home. After our second day at the market, we went to the Children's Museum, which you saw clips of. We didn't take a lot of clips because I don't want to film other people's children, but it was the coolest place we've ever been.
It was so cool. It was so cool. I just can't more highly recommend how cool it was. It was incredible. You should definitely go. We have WIC, and they have a discount for folks who are on WIC. So I think they don't charge until your kid is 18 months, and so our baby's under 18 months, so we didn't have to pay for him anyway. But so for the three of us together, it was $6.
Yeah.
And I believe normally tickets are like $20.
It's like $19 plus tax, so yeah.
I had a couple of people DM and be like, hey, is this worth it? Like, it's kind of expensive. I would say yes, generally. If you have like 4 children and like 2 of them are going to need to take a nap at some point in the time, I would say maybe not worth it. I would say maybe
unless you're super local, because you can come in and out all day.
Yes, yeah.
So if you lived in Olympia,
yes,
and you were like, let's leave and come back second half of the day after lunch or whatever, it probably would. But yes,
I was just very impressed by like the array of different like age group interest things there, because I would not have expected that a place that had like a really sick spot for our 1-year-old, like not crawling, even 13 months old, just crawling baby would also like, there were 10-year-olds who were like having so much fun.
We saw a like
12-year-olds,
definitely like I would have said 12 or 13-year-old with his dad.
Yeah.
Like having a blast, and I was like, oh, maybe they're here with a little sibling, but we saw them leaving later, and it was just them.
Yeah.
And I was like, that kid had fun. Like,
also,
and I was having fun.
Like everything was so cool. We got to do maybe like a third of the things.
Yeah, we were only there for like an hour just because we were, it was like the end of the trip, and it was time to go home for a nap, and but we were like, it's worth it. I want to like see what it's about so that we could determine if we wanted to come back later.
Yeah.
And absolutely.
But yeah, I would say if you have kiddos between the age of like 2 and like 10, for sure they're gonna have a blast.
You could have a perfect day by getting some coffee at Dancing Goats.
Yes.
Going to the Children's Museum. Going to the farmer's market for lunch, go back to the Children's Museum.
Yes.
Because they're all basically in the same parking lot.
Yeah.
They're really close.
Super close.
So, the last night that we were there, we went to dinner at Cascadia Grill.
Yeah.
So I went on the Reddit, which is, if you're in a new place, you should always look at the Reddit.
We've become real Reddit people.
We have.
Within since January.
Listen, the people, it's like the new Yahoo Answers.
It's so much better, though.
It's very local, if you want it to be.
Yeah.
It was really good. I had this, like, Alfredo. Felix, what did you have?
It's called Nopales something something, Nopales. Here's the problem. I posted a thing and was like, had this incredible wrap that had fried cactus in it. And I got like 30 responses being like, Nopales, 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 Nopales. And I was like, okay, I was so afraid that this place, the Cascadia Grill, because that is what they put there, but I was afraid it was like the quesarito. Because Nopales, if you said it just the way that, it looks like no pails.
Yeah,
So I didn't know. I was like,
I thought it was maybe the name of a Greek town that originated the sandwich.
oh, Nopals.
No, like Polis. What? Who else is like Apollo?
Oh,
This is Nopalo. Sing to me, Nopalo.
yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like naming it like a Caesar salad.
It was like Nopales something something.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was vegan. It had this like, coleslaw is not the right word. I guess it did. It was like an Asian slaw that was in it. It was like kind of like the energy. Anyway, I just don't normally like, I'm not normally huge on wraps. I'm not normally big on anything that's like vinegar based. And I really, really liked this a lot.
Yeah, my tortellini was really good.
Yeah.
It was also really cute in there. I took some clips of like the decor.
Yeah.
But it was very cute. Also, there was like photos all over the wall, one of which our baby was obsessed with.
It was a picture. They had all kinds of pictures on the wall, all kinds of them. And there was this one of a priest, and it was like he'd fallen in love with this priest. He just kept gently touching it, and then he was trying to feed him food.
He was trying to feed the other one food, but yes.
Oh yes, that's right.
Picture.
It was the other picture he was trying to feed. He was like,
So
"Let me
funny.
just rub my Cheerios on this man."
We also, I think people can tell that we used to work like in the service industry because they came over and they were like, we have a request. Can we move you guys to a different table so that we can use your table to seat an 8-top?
Yeah.
And we were like, sure. And then they took like 25% off of our bill.
Yeah, they
so
were
if you're looking at the
so
clips
nice.
and it looks like we moved to a different table, it's because we did.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
not because we requested it.
No, oh my god.
It was
no.
also, we got a better table. The baby got to look out the window
Yeah,
and stuff.
he loved to look out the window. So they had these little coasters when we were there that were like jujus, whatever, like ice cream. And we've been talking about getting ice cream after the fact. We'd already, obviously, we're big fans of Sophie Scoops. And then it said like jujus something. It's like ice cream and custard or something.
They were advertising for it at Cascadia Grill.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. But anyway, it was literally, then as we step outside, it's like Juju's 34 steps this way. And so we're like, oh, well, let's go over there.
I didn't know it was that close.
It's so close. So yeah, they had a vegan cherry soft serve and vanilla soft serve, like twist thingy that I got and shared with the baby that was so good.
Yeah, I got an Oreo milkshake, a classic, anytime I get ice cream. And it was just really cute in there, very gay. We found out later the reason that they advertise for each other is because they're owned by the same people, which is actually really cute. Olympia, the whole city had a very, like, small town, but, like, cozy and, like, welcoming.
People say, so it's funny because, like, obviously we live in Salem, the capital of Oregon, and we went to Olympia, the capital of Washington. Salem is, like, this tied for the second largest city in Oregon in terms of population with Eugene, which makes sense. Eugene is a college town, et cetera, et cetera. Olympia is the 25th biggest city in Washington.
Yeah, only
it
like
only
50,000.
has 50,000 people, which is slightly smaller than my hometown of Albany, Oregon, which I consider to be like very small.
Yeah.
I feel like any place that's under like 80,000 people, I'm expecting it to swing conservative in the Pacific Northwest, and this was not the vibe that we got from Olympia at all whatsoever.
So the next morning, we check out at checkout time. It's like raining, very, very Twilight, very Washington. We went to Dancing Goats Coffee, really cute in there. They had a drink for Pride Month that I got.
Two. They had a lavender latte
that's
that called
right.
the L word.
Mm-hmm. And then the Fruity Pebbles one, which you could also get as a matcha, but I got it as a cold brew. Really, really cute. Oh, in Dancing Goats, they had a changing table, which is just like
huge.
When you become a parent,
wow,
there's so many more things you have to be aware of, which obviously people tell you that, right? But it really is, it's taking up so much more of your brain space to be like, is this place going to have a changing table? Are they going to have a high chair?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a place I can walk around if I need to like bounce the baby?
With this baby. Do I
or
need
let
to,
him walk while I hold his hand?
Do I need to actively hold this child away from walls that have a whole bunch of things to grab stuff on? Like, yeah, it was just, I think it's funny because I feel like with coffee places, they are not geared towards children. They are obviously geared towards adults. Fog and Fern and Dancing Goats, I believe, are also owned by the same people, if I understood their social media correctly, but clearly Dancing Goats, which is right across from the farmer's market, is like a little bit of like a more youthful vibe, like a little bit more like a...
It was hip in there.
A hip, bustly...
Not that it wasn't hip at Fog and Fern, but there were like a lot of people... It had much more of a like Starbucks in 2008 vibe, where there were people there with like laptops and people having meetings.
She was like dark academia,
and like drinking out of mugs.
Yes.
And Dancing Goats was like, oh yeah, I'm popping in here before I go to my 8 a.m. final.
That was the other thing, is that they were right across from the farmer's market.
Yeah.
And the farmer's market had changing tables in the men's and the women's, but they didn't have a family restroom. Anyway, they had like a single stall family restroom at the changing table.
After we got coffee, there was just one more place that I wanted to stop by. We had driven by on accident this like walkway that was painted like the trans flag, and I was like, oh, on our last day, let's go by there, take a picture. I wish we had. We did go by there. There was a cute little kid store that had like pride flags up, all this stuff. We get there, we park. There's something called Summerfest going on.
Yeah.
We had no idea. So there was like a bunch of booths, a lot of like queer art, a lot of like regular stuff you might see at some sort of like local crafters market. Really cute. They had like live entertainment.
We were interested in getting like a took 15 seconds Beatles crosswalk photo.
Yes, so we did not get that because it was very busy. So I think we might go on purpose next year, because we had like, I hope you can tell in this vlog.
Yeah.
We had such a good time in Olympia.
Yeah.
We immediately came back and we were like, okay, so in like a couple months, I think we should plan like a 4-night stay, because there were so many things we wanted to do that we didn't get to. And like the farmer's market had, the whole city had like pretty good vegetarian and vegan options, but like the farmer's market had stuff we knew that we liked. I never get to eat seafood in Salem. It was so nice to eat seafood. We found Summerfest. We were like, this is cute, but we only wanted to go to this like one kid store. We went in. It's so cute.
It was amazing.
It's called Little Captain.
Yeah.
Amazing. Please go if you haven't been.
So cute.
They had a lot of different types of toys. We didn't buy any. Our baby has enough toys, and as you saw earlier, I accidentally bought him a toy he also didn't need. They had a lot of stuff for a lot of different age ranges and like interests. So like there were baby dolls, but also there were like tumbling towers, but also there were like little puzzles.
They had a whole bunch of calico critters. They had a whole bunch of Sunny's Angels. I would say it almost more to me had the energy of like, they had a whole slime section. It was sort of the energy of like a hobby store with a focus on toys, and they also had toys for like smaller kiddos. So they had some like very cool like block like chopping, like cutting table
like
vegetables, Montessori type toys.
Yeah. Right next to that store was Moonchild, which was a kid's like vintage and also new clothing store. They had the cutest mural out front.
Oh yeah, I got a really good picture of Morgan's outfit. She's wearing her free label set.
Yeah.
So she looks very cute.
And it's just always really nice to like happen upon something that's like exactly our vibe. Yeah. Which was, honestly, the whole city was like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Every place we went, we were like, oh, this is really cool.
There was also these sunglasses that were made by one of the people who works there, their daughter. Which was so cute.
So we were like, oh, these sunglasses are so cute. And she's like, thanks. My daughter makes them. She's over there.
Yeah, and she was like on the couch
she's
with her
like,
little
she's
friend
10.
chatting.
Yeah, it was so
cute.
And so we had to buy some, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I think when we heard that the Olympia Farmers Market wanted to work with us, like, I had no idea what we were in for.
Yeah, we've never worked with...
The one time we worked with someone who did an event.
You guys have heard the story.
You've heard the story about the hotel and everything was so terrible.
If you haven't, here's a stream where we go into detail about everything that went on this horrible trip. It was 2 years ago.
We also have a vlog, like, of the trip, which some people say that they go back and watch because it's so funny. So when they're having a bad day, they watch the worst vacation we've ever been on in our lives. So anyway.
So that was the closest
That was also in Washington.
That was also in Washington. That's the closest to anything. And that was years ago. We were like, okay, like, you know, sure.
Yeah.
We love to get paid, number one.
Yeah.
We love to go on a little vacation, and like...
We love to talk about something that's fun.
And it just like so exceeded our expectations.
Well, and I think I had a little bit of like anxiety. I just thought it was really nice when we talked to Jessie, who works for the farmer's market, talking about how there was like no secret like capitalism owner of the farmer's market. I thought that was like so important because it was a concern that I had. Like, and also like it's hard to like find that kind of information unless you live locally somewhere.
It's also, I don't think a farmer's market is evil when they are sponsored by...
No.
A lot of things have to be sponsored by big corporations in order to exist. That doesn't mean they're not good or worth it or da-da-da-da.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it depends on the circumstances.
It's so nice that, like, every single thing that Jesse talked about or any of the vendors talked about was about how, like, it's like a family. It's like everything is, like, so local.
Yeah.
Like the girl down the street's dad grows the produce, and they all know each other and have all known each other for years and years, which actually, now that we know that there's only 50,000 people in the town, makes even more sense.
Yeah, I just thought that was really cool. I think you can tell from being there physically that that's what their vibe is, and that it's not some underhanded CD. But they just obviously care a lot about people, which is incredibly cool. We saw the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. We were sitting in the garden.
This was truly a magical moment.
It was like as from a movie.
Yes.
It was so cute. Morgan left because the baby woke up from nap and is getting snuggled back down. There are all these little kind of nooks and crannies in the garden area, which I guess actually is like maintained by the master gardeners in Olympia. It's like a volunteer program, which is very cool.
So we were in the garden area eating our lunch, and like we were saying earlier, there was like a bunch of kids, a bunch of families, like also there because it's shaded and there's picnic benches and there's like space to run around. And so we see these two kids like running and playing and doing typical like little kid stuff where they're like, oh, did you want to play fairies? Like, oh, my favorite color's pink, da 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 da. They're chatting, they're having fun. The two moms, I don't know where they are. I assume that they all came together. But in like a lull in our lunch conversation, we hear one of the girls go, how old are you? And the other goes, I'm 5. And she goes, I'm 5 too. Well, I'm 5.5. And so, first of all, that's just what it's like to be a kid.
The half is crucial.
The half is very crucial.
I think we've all been 5.5 or 9.5.
It was just so funny. They play a little bit more, and then a little bit later we see one of the girls pull her mom over to the other mom and be like, we need to be friends now. We're best friends now. And the moms are like, oh, okay. What's your name? Nice to meet you. I'm so-and-so. And so I was like, oh, they didn't come together. They just became best friends.
Yeah.
Then the moms are exchanging numbers, and she's like, yeah, I guess they're best friends now, so I guess we'll have to hang out. And it was really cute because, like, not to give away all of their information, but one of the moms is like, oh, like, yeah, we just moved here, so, like, we don't have any friends yet. Like, it's really nice to meet you, da da da. And then one of the girls interrupts and is like, Mom, I'm 5 and she's 5. And the girl goes, well, I'm 5.5. Which is just, like, I don't know, like, it's really nice to be in a space where things like that happen, because like there's so few places where kids get to be and go. Like, we don't have the play places anymore, you know what I mean? And so it was really cute as new parents to see something that hopefully will happen to our kid in the future, where we're in a space that is able to like foster new friendships and community.
As you say, it was obviously like micro community building happening in a place where there's lots of other like bigger community building happening. But yeah, those gardens are so cool. They was just like clearly set up by master gardeners, obviously, in such a way that there was like a bunch of little nooks and crannies that I feel like kids could play in pretty easily. There was
but it wasn't like unsafe or
no,
like you could see all of it while it was all still shaded and also a little bit private.
Yeah,
which was impressive.
There was like a picnic table that was like basically like a half a picnic table. That way it'd be easy if you had like a stroller or like a wheelchair user who wanted to sit on the ends of it. It was just so good. It was so nice.
It was so nice. And it was shaded.
And we love the shade.
We love the shade. There were also booths of things that I've never seen or even considered before. There was literally a booth that I don't think it was refurbished. I think it said recycled leather.
Yeah.
And I was like, first of all, I didn't even know that was a thing people could do. Second of all, it was like these really cool and like intricate like wallets and purses and other things.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And then there were places like the ice cream shop where I was like, oh, we've never had like ice cream at our farmer's market.
We do have ice cream at our farmer's market.
Not like that. That was the guy who has like the pushy thing.
Oh yeah, no, we just have a pushy guy. They had like legit.
They had like
dairy free
as if you were at the Baskin Robbins.
Yes,
they had like
true.
the full freezer.
2 different places. Where
yes,
like that
2 different
had, like,
places.
full...
And the meat market thing, we've never had like something like that. We do have a guy who has like, and it's good. I've gotten it before.
He's got like exotic jerky.
He's got like Well,
and then there's a guy who's like, I'll sell an entire pig to you. You gotta come pick it up though. I don't know, but this was cool.
Sure of the pig scenario.
They had a lot of like sausages and things. It's obviously a place where people are going on a very regular basis to buy the things that are there.
It was very clear that people are going on a regular basis, and like you'd see people being like, "Oh hey, like good to see you again." When I was in line at Dingy's, one of the guy who I guess you hate the name of.
You did. That's just so funny. No, I like Dingy. I think he's Dingin. Dingens and Dragons.
Yeah, Dingens and Dragons.
Dingens and Dungeon-esque crabs. There's a joke somewhere there.
I think so.
Thank you.
When I was in line at Dingy's, one of the people who was working there was just like handing out fry samples because there were so many people in line. And he was like, "Here's a French fry while you wait. Make sure you order though. Here's a French fry. Make sure you're ordering them."
They were good French fries.
They were such good French fries.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about this, we saw a lot of gay people there.
Oh, that's true. Oh.
A lot of gay people
This was the other thing that I was going to say. Our job is so weird, and I love to go somewhere new. It's possible that we're having a altered experience compared to other folks, not because I think people like recognize us and are being extra nice to us necessarily, but we just like the gay people congregate towards us because they know us from the internet. So we'll find out that there's like, at least 3 queer people there, if not significantly more, who just don't happen to consume our content, which is great and completely fine. But yeah, it was very sweet, particularly at the farmers market. There was like quite a few folks who were like, "Oh my god, hey, I know you guys from the internet." It was also really cute because anytime somebody stopped us in Olympia, they'd be like, "Hey, you guys don't live here." We're like, "Yeah."
They'd be like, "Right?"
Yeah, it was really funny.
Which is really funny because when we see people in Salem, they'll be like, "Don't you guys live in Portland?" And we'll be like, "No, we don't."
No.
Everybody thinks that though.
I don't want to learn how to parallel park.
I don't need to.
Really good parking. At the
Oh my
farmer's
god, yeah, how have we not
market.
talked
I can't
about
believe
this?
we didn't talk about this.
Free parking, number 1, which is a rarity these days. And yeah, really good. We got
huge parking.
We got princess parking both times.
Yeah.
We were like right towards the front. But even further out, it wasn't like that far. It wasn't like a IKEA parking lot.
You have to pay at our farmer's market.
You do have to pay to park at our farm. Well,
And they don't have ice cream.
no.
Not
They
good
don't.
ice cream.
Not good ice cream.
Not
like
cardamom dairy-free ice cream. That's ice cream that was created in a lab for
was.
Felix May.
Sophie was clocking you.
Obsessed. I think that the real thing is that there's just like quite literally nothing that could have made it better.
Yeah.
About the farmer's market. Like everything about it was incredible.
Yeah.
It's clearly so well thought out. It has the energy, and I mean this as the highest compliment. And I'm saying it because I think it's fairly adjacent to the truth. It has the energy of being run by like 5-ish mid-30s lesbians who know exactly what they're about and are just like the nicest people.
And they're ready to emotionally adopt you into the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Oh, there was also live music. We forgot to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we were there on 2 different days.
Yeah.
We saw 2 different vibes of live music. We're both fans of live music, but with a baby, it's kind of hard because if it's like super loud,
you gotta like scooch.
You can't be there.
But the market was big enough that that wasn't an issue.
It wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
And even if we had sat down, there's like a shaded area where you can watch the live music and eat with a bunch of picnic tables.
Yeah.
Even if we had sat there, the bands, at least that we saw, weren't like super loud, overwhelming. No. They were very vibey.
Yeah.
One of the days there was a guy playing the violin or the fiddle, depending on the music you're playing, I've heard. Who I was really excited to hear, but we timed it poorly because like we had heard them as we were getting our food and then they were on break by the time we were eating our food. But love that. And then the other day it was just like a person with a guitar, very chill, which is not something that it doesn't always work out that way. We've certainly been to events where the live music was
adding to a chaos,
all you could think of,
or all you and
this was not that, which was really nice. It was very, very chill, very fun.
And again, even if they were being like super bananas loud, like the market's big enough, I think you could just walk to a different area because we couldn't even really hear them when we were
we couldn't hear them in the garden.
Yeah.
The lunch and learn is also something that they've never done at our farmer's market or any farmer's market I've ever been to, which I think is actually really smart because I know I didn't ask this question personally to the handsome men with the oysters, but someone else was like, oh, can we buy these? And they were like, oh yeah, like I think they had said either they have a booth there sometimes, but it's like I think you're just buying the oysters. It's not like they're going to cook them for you right then. Or they have a restaurant in town. But the answer was that like, yes, they could buy them eventually somewhere, which is smart because it's like advertising, but like you're already there. It's smart because they're there to learn about something. It's like
Costco free samples.
It's like Costco free samples. Also having a 1-year-old, a new toddler, we have a different perspective than maybe we would have a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And I can say definitely having a stroller, having a little kid, it was like very easy to get around. Like we've said, there's changing tables in both bathrooms, which is great.
Yeah.
There was plenty of stuff for him to eat if he had wanted to. There was plenty of stuff for him to look at. Lots of dogs for him to look at.
Yes.
Because you can have dogs in like the outsidey part, but because of like the health code, they can't go, only service animals can go into the like covered part. But there were lots of little puppy dogs for him to make comments and point at.
Yes.
Which is always a win in our book. Also, the farmer's market office is like right there on site because it's run by people who are there and not some like umbrella corporation. So we went there and we had a question about getting some wipes, which they didn't have. But they have a first aid kit, all kinds of stuff that you could need. If you need change for things, like it was
also wild that we forgot our baby wipes. That was not like I wouldn't expect anyone to have them. I just figured we may as well ask. But it was nice to turn and look and immediately be like, oh, that's the main office.
Yes.
Let's go ask really quick. Because I feel like a lot of events and other things and other farmers market type stuff we've been to, you have to like really seek out.
There's not like a main like hub.
Yeah.
Of
this one.
a person who might be able to answer your question or at least point you in the direction of someone who can answer your question.
Or give you a Band-Aid or...
Yes. And that was so nice because they had those like actual live people working there, and then just around the corner is where they had all the stuff that we filmed of like pamphlets and like events that are going on. And if you just like wanted information but didn't want to talk to anyone, they had that right there, which was really nice. Yeah, everyone we talked to was really lovely. It's very clear that they have a lot of passion for the farmer's market. They have a lot of passion for Olympia, and that really makes a difference. You know, it was just wonderful. I honestly am so excited to go back to Olympia.
Yeah.
This was our first road trip as a family of 3.
Yes.
So as a little wrap up, here's a few things that helped us on our road trip.
Yes. Having toys that the baby hasn't seen before that the baby then sees for the first time in the car.
That helped.
Also having a couple of books. Also just sort of having a lot of different options of things. We had his little like backpack that we just like put some of his favorite toys in. Obviously you want some things like your baby's favorite stuffy or like whatever if they have one, like that's really good to have, but like for them to have things that are new that they like haven't put their grubby little hands on before, I think that that's good. We were in a hotel room for 3 nights and for food I was like stressed about it. What we ended up doing was like we packed a bunch of stuff. He was really into, so we had like a cooler that had like baby food and other meals and things. We had a microwave and a fridge. Yeah. Which was crucial. I don't know what we would have done without those.
We also, I know some people in their 30s, in their 28 and 30s, are at the point in their lives where they're paying a little bit more to stay at a little bit nicer hotel. We're not there. No. So we stayed at the La Quinta. It was $120 a night.
It was great.
Yeah, that's all I need.
They let us borrow their high chair from the Continental Breakfast. It was great. But yeah, the things that we bought while we were there for like actual solid food for the baby to eat, we got a container of prunes, which he'd never had before, and those were great because they're like raisins. They're like dried, and then depending on your baby, how many teeth they have and where they're at and whatever, you can put them in some water to make them puff up and squishy, and then they can eat them, cut them up. They're really soft. So we brought baby scissors every location that we went because they're crucial for making the things the small pieces. And then, we got a can of the Amy's lentil and vegetable soup. Yeah. Huge hit. He was super into that. This is I don't know if other people are having the same experience. Our baby is not like vegan or vegetarian. We want him to like eat meat and other things.
But his dad is.
Yes, and I'm the one who like makes a lot of the food. And also it's hard to find like quick meat that's not like really super processed. And obviously it's okay for him to have super processed meat every once in a while. But in a perfect world, we're trying to get him to have like a sort of like a balance. Anyway, and also he just doesn't like meat that much because it's much tougher.
It's weird. Yeah, like when you are a brand new baby with brand new teeth and you're mostly eating fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
Meat is weird.
Yeah. But he's really into lentils and beans and other stuff like that and other like protein things. So anyway, we brought some like whole fat yogurt with almond butter in it and like a couple of other things.
He's very into those like baby applesauce type pouches.
Yes. Yeah.
So we had some of those.
Those really come in clutch. I know some people don't like those. As long as it's not the only thing that your kid eats, their like oral development is going to be fine.
I have something and we have a clip of it.
Oh my god.
We brought something else that he had not seen for the first time was this new cup.
Yes.
We went to our 1-year WIC appointment, pediatrician appointment, also same day. And both of them, I think, said like we want them to drink from an open cup by 2. The one that they mentioned by name was the Munchkin 360 cup. Here's a picture of it if you've never seen it.
Yeah.
This is a clip of Felix and I using it for the first time. Because
I haven't rewatched this.
We as 2 adults
couldn't
like, how do you drink? We had to Google.
Yeah.
After like probably a full 10 minutes of us trying to figure it out ourselves because we're like, this is for our baby's not gonna be able to use this. You can't drink from it. By spill proof, do they mean baby can't drink out of it?
There's no hole in it. He's feeding the man.
The man's hungry.
I don't understand. Are you supposed to take something off of it? There's no... Yeah.
It's completely spill proof.
Yeah.
And like...
It sounds impossible.
They've made it for space, I'm certain.
They have. The way that it exists, it just looks like no water could possibly come out of it.
It's just like cup, and then there's a screwy part that's like handles that the baby can hold on to.
And there's
and
like
a rubber stopper that goes on top. And you're like, okay, and how does he drink from it? And I'll give you...
Because we're like putting it... Yeah.
We're putting it to our mouths. We're trying to like drink because it looks like an open cup, basically.
Yeah.
So you think you just like drink it and it comes
out.
to your mouth. It doesn't.
And then I was like, do you have to take the silicone part off? And then I'm like tipping it upside down and all the water is coming out because I've taken off the thing that like creates the seal.
Anyway, spoiler alert for how to use the Munchkin 360.
Yeah.
You have to put it to your mouth like you would an open cup, but then you suck like you would a bottle.
Like a sippy cup.
Like a sippy cup.
Or something else.
The baby immediately got it and did not need to Google how to use it.
No, he was there. He was there. We were lost in the sauce of the water.
We could not. Luckily, some other parents had clearly Googled the same thing.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I Googled it, it filled out the rest of the question for me.
Well, people kept talking about this cup, and I just didn't believe them that did that.
People were talking about this cup at our doctor's appointments to us as if they were paid by Munchkin.
That's true. But people on the internet...
Paid by
It's the same way people talk about those Zenny eyeglasses, where like everyone, like the second you get this, you become like a person who's trying to get other people to get this thing on accident because you're like, no, it's so great, like it's changed my life. It is really good though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is really good. We had a great time in the car. It was like
Supposed to be 3 hours. Took us 5 hours on the way there, about 4 hours on the way back.
Well, it's hard because like you're not really supposed to have them eat solid food in the car seat. Or drink in the car seat, or like do anything, because then if they were to start choking, you'd have to like
pull over
completely and take them out of the car seat.
Now, a lot of kids do drink in the car seat.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know when that rule's supposed to stop, or when they started doing it, because when I was a kid, I was certainly eating and drinking in the car seat.
Yeah.
We did pull over at this one coffee. It was called Crow Moon. On the way home, we saw it on the interstate. By the way, I always tell businesses if I went to their business because I saw their logo on the interstate sign, because I'm sure they pay a lot of money to be on the interstate sign, and I want them to know that it's worth it. So yeah, we went to Crow Moon, and it was the only coffee place I've ever been to that had like a little play area.
It wasn't just a coffee place. It was like a coffee
and bagel like, type sandwiches.
And then the other side was a bar.
Right. We didn't go over there. They weren't open on that side yet.
It was like, yeah.
I mean, like even at restaurants, they don't normally have... It was like a little kids like play area with like books, and then there was like some little games, and it was really, really smart because, and I complimented them on it. It was dead. Literally when we walked in, the 2 people who were working were sitting at a table and chatting. Yeah. And then they got up and washed their hands to help us, which I thought was nice. But anyway, I was like, oh, this is really smart for you guys to put this over here. And she was like, yeah, well, we know people come in from the interstate and their kids need to run around a little bit and get some energy out, so I thought it'd be smart to put it over there. I was like, yeah, girl, I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. We're glad that you're here. The world is so scary, but you are so lovely. If you'd like to see us on other platforms, we're on all of them, except for the one that used to be called Twitter. Yeah. We'd love to see you there. We're also on Patreon. Every other week we post like a 30 to 45 minute video of us just talking at the camera about all kinds of stuff, whatever's going on. It's just like unedited yapping, sometimes complaining, sometimes talking about reality TV drama. And that's where we make our bread and butter. So thank you so much to all of our patrons.
Yeah, and for being here also.
And for being here. This is our other way that we make our bread and butter here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. It does help. If you go to the Olympia Farmers Market, please tell them that we sent you. Go to the little office and say, oh, hey, I'm here because of CouplaGoofs, because we really want them to succeed. We're really, really thankful that they hired us. It was a dream collab. It was so cool to go to. And we will definitely be going back to Olympia.
Yeah.
If you're from Olympia, congratulations. What a great town. If you're not from Olympia, I bet you still have a lot of nice things in your town, too. And I'd love to know about them.
Tell us below.
Tell us below what your favorite part of your town is. Okay, that's all. Enjoy the bloopers. Bye-bye.
Also, have a map.
Ready? It's going to be a cool shot. Oh, good morning. There we go. That's natural. Now, my dad made us go to continental breakfast at 6 a.m. also.
There's a baby shot. The baby head in that shot. Just then.
No.
It was just flying. This is where his head was. Watch. You see it. Just... Thank you, baby.
Bag and trash pet waste.
I think only rain down the storm drain is a... Oh, thank you.
Can I have your full... You're gonna have to be louder than you're getting.
No.
Okay.
Get better at listening.
I'll get really close.
Okay, perfect.
I still have some chocolate from our sweet treat trip.
Our sweet teat?
Our sweet
You sick freak.
trip. Share with the baby. Yeah. Well, we're nice like that.
Oh, I got the hummus plate.
Hang on, do you want to talk not with your mouth?
No. I want to talk only with mouthful of french fries. You know, it's kind of hard to get, like, aesthetic...
Something that really warmed my heart about talking to Jessie is that the more that Jessie talked about the market and the history of the market and even the current things going on with the future of the market, I'm saying the market the perfect amount of times.
Say the market again.